We are seeing Pepe explode up almost 20% today. Absolutely crazy run for Pepe. You might be wondering, why is this happening? What can make Pepe continue going up towards the all-time highs? Well, let's dive into that in this video. First off, let's talk about what's happening with Pepe right now, and then we will dive into what can make Pepe explode going back up towards all-time highs. So you guys can see as we look on the chart, Pepe price has been on a downward trend for a while. If we zoom out here, you guys can see this downward trend all the way from the all-time highs, decreasing in value, going down on this downward trajectory. However, we're seeing Pepe today explode up in value. Now, this might look small, but of course, the price of Pepe has been going down quite a bit. But when we zoom in on this, this obviously is a pretty significant move, bigger than what we've been seeing since the past couple of days. The last time that we saw a major move in Pepe was on the 9th of this month. So basically 7 days ago, about a week ago here, we could see the price of Pepe recently is just going straight up. You might be wondering, what is causing this? Well, you guys can see right now, Pepe up on this chart right now, up almost 18%. You guys can see that right above me right here. The volume is also spiking up. Volume right now, $182 million of 24-hour volume. When we compare that to something like Shiba Inu, for example, you see Shiba Inu right now is going green on the day, up about 3%. Volume right now about $70 million. So Pepe is a couple multiplier of the volume of Shiba Inu. When we take a look at Dogecoin, Dogecoin up about 2.5% right now. Volume right now about 196 million. So Pepe, almost the same volume as Dogecoin right now, but obviously up a lot more than these other ones, Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. So Pepe up basically in a 19% or 20% here at the peak. You guys can see it's starting to come back down just slightly right now, but basically peaked up 20%. Now what's happening? Well, right now, the overall crypto market is going up. You guys can see that over to my side here. Over the past 24 hours, a lot of major cryptocurrencies are going green. That's off of some come back from what we had the other day with some disappointing news from the Federal Reserve that they might be increasing interest rates, some technical stuff, but basically some macroeconomic factors that were bringing down the entire crypto market the other day. You guys can see that trend here for Ethereum. When we look at a 7-day, you can see just this massive drop off we had the other day. We are since recovering, almost recovering all those losses that we had, which is really exciting. And as we look forward towards the future of Pepe, we can see that Pepe has a lot of potential here if we can continue some of this momentum, because really what we've been talking about on this channel is that Pepe needs one key thing. You might be wondering, what is that? Well, Pepe needs some attention. That might sound really straightforward, really clear. Well, of course, Pepe needs attention to grow. Pepe needs more people to be interested in Pepe. People need to believe in the future potential of Pepe for the value of Pepe to go up. That seems really straightforward and basic, but it's a little bit more complicated than it might seem. When we saw this explosive growth in Pepe, one thing that we had is a lot of people that profited significantly, and then they ended up selling off their profits. So you can see Pepe price was way down here just a little while ago, and then within a couple of weeks, Pepe exploded in value, showing some people 10,000+% gains. And so what happens when people make a ton of money? People start taking profits, which brought the prices down. But one thing that we've been noticing is that the price of Pepe has been slowly declining in value as people take profits, which should be expected. But what's happening? Why is it going down slowly instead of just dropping straight off a cliff? Obviously, it's down dramatically from all-time highs, but we're still showing stability for Pepe. Right now, the Pepe market cap, if we pull up Pepe again, top trending basically on coin market cap as well. Important to note that. But the market cap of Pepe right now about $400 million. This is not like this cryptocurrency went from 0 to 1.6 billion and then back down to 0. We're still holding strong at a significant market cap. When you compare that to some other cryptocurrencies, that places Pepe right now, as you guys can see on the ranking, within the top 100 cryptocurrencies out there, out of, on this example in coin market cap, over 25,000 cryptocurrencies. So Pepe, top 100 out of 25,000 listed cryptocurrencies just on that website. So there are a lot of cryptocurrencies out there, and Pepe is still a massive one. You might be wondering, why is Pepe not going to 0? Well, one important thing to note, and this is so critical, is that as people take profits, there are people buying at these prices, which means, what does that mean? If you're buying, let's say, at a $400 million Pepe valuation, a lot of people probably are expecting Pepe to go back above $1 billion. That's why they're buying. Why would you buy Pepe at $400 million if you think it's going to go to $100 million? That just would not make sense. There's a lot of people buying right now and thinking that the price is going to go higher. And that's why we're seeing some of this consolidation happening within this price range where people are expecting the price of Pepe to explode up beyond the $1 billion market cap, which is really important because if there's a lot of people that buy Pepe now and believe it can go beyond that market cap, then they're not going to sell before it hits that threshold, which is so important because if we want to see Pepe price go up that high again to avoid a massive sell-off like what we had right here, where you had people who bought at 50 million, $10 million market caps. Once it goes beyond $1 billion, they probably never thought it was going to go that high. And so what they did is they took profits. But if we have people that believe, oh, we could overtake Shiba Inu, we could overtake Dogecoin, we could go up to Shiba Inu at $4 billion, we could go up to Dogecoin at $9 billion market cap, people are going to continue to hold their Pepe as the price goes up, which is so important. Because if we want to go beyond the all-time highs, we have to have people who believe in the future of Pepe. And so, well, yes, the price of Pepe has been on a downward trend for a little while. I've been dollar cost averaging. I've been showing you guys some of those different buys that I've been doing on this channel. If you want to see more of that transparent content, honest content, make sure you guys subscribe down below. A lot of other YouTubers just don't show that information. I show it to you guys and prove that I'm actually doing what I say I'm doing. Now, of course, make sure you guys do whatever is best for you in your portfolio. I don't know your scenario. I can only tell you what I am personally doing and what I think is best for my scenario. Make sure you guys do your own research and due diligence before investing in anything. But I think this is a good sign that Pepe price is not declining dramatically back down to the lows it used to have. I think this is good that Pepe is slowly dying off in the sense, or slowly decreasing in value, not dying off, because people are buying it. People are thinking there's a strong future for Pepe. And as long as people believe in a strong future of Pepe, that's how we got up to the 1.6 billion. We didn't have some magical utility. Pepe doesn't have its own blockchain. Pepe doesn't have a casino behind it. There's no real utility behind Pepe. It was people believing it that made it go to 1.6 billion. And so if people are buying at 400 million, believing that can go higher, then I think we can go higher. And to reinforce that point, when we look at the top Pepe holders, a lot of major whales have been selling off. We used to see a couple major whales on this top 50 list, but you guys can see a lot of those have been selling off. Instead, what we have is Binance, for example, OKX, Crypto.com, KuCoin. We have exchanges. Now, what does this mean? When you go ahead and you see Binance at 22% of the supply of Pepe, that doesn't mean that Binance or CZ Binance owns all that Pepe. The Binance company is not buying Pepe because they believe in the future. Now, they might be buying Pepe because they believe in the future, but that's not what all of this is. A significant chunk of this, if not all of this, is the customer funds on Binance, which generally means that what you're seeing here is we saw a shift from massive whales holding a lot of Pepe to now these exchanges holding Pepe. In my opinion, I believe that means that a lot of individual investors are buying on these different platforms. There's maybe hundreds of thousands of users, tens of thousands of users on these different platforms. Like example, Binance, OKX, Crypto.com, KuCoin, all these different large exchanges. These are different users that are probably small-time users or smaller retail investors, I should say. $100 to $1,000 investments that are buying into Pepe because they believe about the future, which is so important because Pepe is a people's movement. The fact that we had these significant whales and so many significant whales in this top list was kind of concerning because Pepe is supposed to be a people movement, but it could be manipulated by the whales. And as whales were selling, we obviously saw that the price declined dramatically as whales took profits. But as retail investors get more into Pepe and they believe in the future of Pepe, I think Pepe has such a strong potential to see a massive comeback. This is something that we've seen before with Shiba Inu. You guys can see Shiba Inu peaked off really high in value, declined in value for a while before seeing its explosive growth. This was not a couple days. This was a time period of a couple months where Shiba Inu value was down basically 70, 80%, just like where Pepe is right now. And then it saw explosive growth again when a community came around behind Shiba Inu and said that they wanted to make it something significant. So the obvious question now is, how do we actually grow the Pepe community to a significant number where we can hit like Shiba Inu and Dogecoin with millions of different people interested instead of a few 100,000? Well, a key thing is going to be getting it into the eyes of different retail investors. The way that we can accomplish that, or the easiest way, is getting different Pepe news articles. Have Pepe be talked about more. Pepe was obviously very big within the crypto Twitter space, but once you went outside of crypto Twitter, there really wasn't a lot of involvement with Pepe with the larger retail investing community. People who are interested in AMC, things of that nature. There's not as many of those people hearing about Pepe. And so what we need to do is get into news. We can go ahead and see there's an India article right here from Outlook India. Then you have a couple other crypto-based news platforms. But again, this is targeting people who are already interested in crypto. We need things like this Reuters article that came in a month ago. We need a lot of those things to be happening every couple days. We need Pepe to be in the mainstream news, Yahoo News, Bloomberg, all these different places. That way the average person can see Pepe. They can learn about our movement, our people's movement, to bring power back to the people. And then they can hopefully join in on our movement if they believe in the future potential of Pepe. And obviously it's going to be a lot harder than it sounds to actually accomplish this, to get Pepe into all these major news, because we need something to be done for them to want to talk about Pepe. Obviously, when we saw the massive move of Pepe, where the price went from basically zero to over $1 billion, we saw some articles come out like this Reuters one. But outside of that, we don't really have a lot of news happening for Pepe right now. what we need to do is we need to show them Pepe is here to stay. If we could show Pepe price going back up to, let's say about in this level right up here, not quite all-time high, but about halfway up back to all-time highs, I think Pepe would be talked about more as people realize, wait a second, this thing didn't just die off like most cryptocurrencies. This thing is here to stay. And this is why I think Pepe has the potential to potentially overtake Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. If you want to learn how can Pepe do that when their market caps are in the billions of dollars, check out this video up here to learn more details as to why I believe Pepe could actually overtake these massive cryptocurrencies.